It is unacceptable that we continue to uncover cybercrime committed by China against America and other nations.
Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein announced the charges at a press conference this morning. 2 Chinese nationals linked to a government espionage team, accused of targeting aviation, telecommunications, and pharmaceutical companies, even a NASA space center, allegedly trying to get their hands on sensitive government information.
No country poses a broader, more severe, long-term threat to our nation's economy and cyber infrastructure than China. China's goal, simply put, is to replace the U.S. as the world's leading superpower, and they're using illegal methods to get there.
China didn't just target the U.S. Today's indictments say more than a dozen other countries, including Canada, were victims of the hacking.
The Chinese aren't playing by the rules, or at least by Western rules, and they say, oh, you owe us because of colonialism, and we deserve your intellectual property. Their excuses are pretty funny when you talk to them.
China's activities are being condemned globally. In a statement, British Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt called the campaign one of the most significant and widespread cyber intrusions against the UK and allies uncovered to date. But will the criticism amount to anything? Probably not, says this analyst.
I think to change their position still requires engagement, dialogue. Sometimes it involves coercion or punitive measures for China's wrongdoings. But to only have punitive measures without some sort of engagement and dialogue is not going to solve the problem either.
But there is some dialogue. Even as the U.S. presses today's charges, it's also talking with China, pressing for a trade deal. Ellen Morrow, CBC News, Washington.
Now, those 2 Chinese hackers may be in China, and if so, they'd be beyond the reach of U.S. officials. But as Ellen mentioned, Canadians have an interest in this case too, and Ottawa was quick to condemn Chinese espionage, but it was also very careful to make clear it wasn't doing so out of revenge.
The situation that we're dealing with today in terms of cybersecurity was first detected going back to 2016. And we have been taking the appropriate steps with the private sector ever since then to make sure that Canadian systems and Canadian companies are properly protected. So that situation began long before the events of the last couple of weeks that have affected 2 Canadians in one set of facts and another Canadian in a different set of facts that are being detained in China.